business model canvas on the company Gather. So to start with just a quick company overview, so Gather allows companies to better streamline people operations tasks by tapping into the company datasets and communicating via Slack. The co-founders are Alex Hilliary, John Wetzel, who is a Notre Dame alumnus, and Brooks Syme. Now, Gather is still in pilot testing with a handful of companies, but it's entering the scene at what ended up to be an optimal time with a sharp rise in remote working all across America and the world. So moving into the business model canvas, we're going to start on the right with customer segments. So as you might imagine, the customer segments are going to mostly be medium to large companies that use Slack. The companies that might operate remotely or rely on Slack a lot for their general communications, and also they focus a lot on people operations and HR teams. These are the segments of the companies that might find a special interest in this product. In terms of the customer relationships, at the moment, they have very close relationships with their customers because they're going to be seeking constant feedback from the pilot testing companies at all times. They're they're responding to every comment on all the posts and the reviews about them, and it's a very close-knit connection that they have with their current customers. However, you can imagine that as they slowly start unrolling the product out to the public, it'll be more customer service based and largely automated, and maybe a little more of a relaxed customer relationship. Their channels include their website, and on their website they have the Gather Library, which is a really cool blog that they've kept up from the very beginning of their company that includes just different stages of their progress as a company, their the very beginning, why they founded it, and just different articles written by staff members just about topics related to Gather. Additionally, they're obviously hoping that the pilot companies who are testing out Gather will maybe refer it to their other friends or other CEOs or other businesses. So that's another channel that it might be spreading throughout the country at the moment. So in terms of value propositions, so this is what the company promises, and so they hope to help managers support their teams proactively, provide a tool that scales personalized employee experiences. So, if you have a company of 30 employees, you can probably remember all of their birthdays. But if you have a company of 500 employees, this is a process that helps you as a manager or a higher up staff member manage all of those small customer relationship things that help personalize the process. Additionally, it creates a source of positive day-to-day action, which is really cool, and it works across an entire company or within smaller communities, just like how Slack does. So some key activities they need to maintain in order to fulfill these value propositions. They need to continue to develop and update the code. This is especially essential now while they're pilot testing. They need to listen and actively respond to the feedback from the companies that are testing it out at the moment and continuously update that code to make it fit the recommendations. They also have to focus a lot on marketing at the moment and research and piloting, as I alluded to earlier. So the resources to help their value propositions come to life, obviously they have to tap into the company databases, which include any information about the employees that could help them on board or off board or remember work anniversaries or those kind of things. And they have a largely human workforce, so they have software engineers and a marketing team, which are some key resources there. In terms of their key partnerships, Slack is a huge one. Slack is very largely what they're going to be integrating their product with. So that's a very that's an essential partnership that they have. Also, they're backed by Y Combinator, which is an early stage investment company. So they choose a handful of startups twice a year to fund, and they decided to back Gather in one of their biannual funding stints, I guess, or funding batches. And so that's a huge partnership for them, that it helps fund them and bring them to life. And another partnership would be some database services that the companies may have, such as ADP or Gusto. Those are just two companies that provide database services, so that'll be an important connection to be able to interact and read from the employee data. And then finally, the piloting companies, which are helping them out. So the cost structure, website maintenance is important. Code maintenance, obviously, is a cost. Employee and developer salaries, which is important, and the marketing and research costs early on, definitely key. In terms of their revenue streams, just about a couple weeks ago, they told TechCrunch that they are not fully decided on how they're going to be charging their customers, but they are expecting that they're going to be charging the companies on a per employee per month basis. So now moving on to the value proposition design. So on the right here, we have the customer segment. So the customer is looking for a more positive day-to-day action across their company. They want to proactively support their various teams across their company. And they also want to create a more productive, organized, and efficient workspace. This is especially important if they have a lot of employees who are working from home due to COVID at the moment. Additionally, some pains that might be stopping them from fulfilling these desires for their company. So the Slack channel is easy to get lost in as a new employee. This is one of the biggest motivations that the co-founders discussed, saying that, when you join a company, you just get thrown onto their Slack channel, and it's a lot to take in, so it helps with that a lot. Oh, well, no, it's not helping with that yet, but that is a problem. Also, it's very hard to remember the personal events of hundreds of employees. So some gains, if this were to be fulfilled, the manager would be able to develop a better relationship with his or her employees, and the employees would become closer within their individual teams as well. And also you can more efficiently manage people operations and HR, which would be very good. So this is what Gather brings to the table. So as iterated before, a tool that helps scale all personal employee experiences for larger companies. And so how does this help? Well, it helps relieve pain by integrating all the services with Slack to ease all communication on the platform. So it helps demystify Slack for a new member of the company. Additionally, it connects with employee databases to track meaningful events, so managers don't have to. So a manager wouldn't have to remember these key events or these key things about their employees. They would just be reminded of them before the events come up, so that's very helpful. And finally, some gain creators, they offer personalized messages for the managers to send out to their staff to keep tabs on all their employees, so that is helping to foster a good relationship with employees and create a positive workspace. And finally, it has established ideas such as onboarding for new hires or parental leave, so these are pre-programmed Gather tasks, or you can also make your own tasks for the service to implement. So that those are two different options that you can to help efficiently manage all of your people operations to whatever extent you would like. So I'm really excited about Gather. I think it's a really cool company with some Notre Dame ties. I think that they are landing right in stride with the pandemic, because they're going to have hopefully a lot of attention with a lot of working from home companies. And I wish them the best of luck, and I'm really excited. Here's my works cited, and thank you so much for watching.